a podcast where we deep dive into the thrilling world of college football fantasy leagues. I'm Reed Watson, and joining me as always is the one and only Patrick Bales. Pat, you ready to kick off another episode?
Absolutely, Reed. Today we have a jam-packed episode. We're going to be doing a mock draft. We'll interview our former league champion, Boo. And later we'll find out who's this guy with Peter Gallinera, and I butchered that terribly. And finally, we might hear some affirmations from our loved ones. It's going to be a good one.
Is this thing on? Yeah. Probably not, but we're still here, giving it all we got. Fantasy football with zero fame. Too much effort for a made-up game. Is this thing on? Who knows? Who cares? Let's go!
Let's get started with our mock draft.
All right, I've been mocking all night in preparation, and I cannot wait to reveal my favorite mocks.
You know, I've got 1-1 in this, so I've been really emotionally preparing for it because I have 1-1 in the regular league. I'm really excited about it. So, first pick, I've been wavering back and forth, lost a lot of sleep over this, but I'm going to go with Desmond Reed.
Whoa, that's a pretty surprising 1-1. I guess he does go mock speed, but yeah, I think you left some value on the board there because my second pick, Devin Maccabee from Purdue.
I'm having to scroll pretty far down. Maccabee already is a little early, I think. His yards are kind of gone down every year. But I'm going to take the win. I thought I was going to have to come back around to this one, but I'm going to take Bryson Washington. I thought he was going to be gone.
Okay. I'm lost, but I'm assuming you know something I don't know. You do your research. For my pick, 1-4, I'm going to go with Katniss Everdeen.
Wait, hold on. Is that the girl from Hunger Games in a college football mock draft?
Yeah, dude, it's a mock draft, and she's the mocking J. Don't get mad that I took the best ones.
Okay, we're done here. I'm cutting that out. Our next guest, listeners will be very familiar with, as he is one of the three-time champions. Name on that trophy 3 times. Welcome back to the show, Tyler.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Tyler. What was your biggest takeaway from last season's championship run?
I think get lucky with drafting Ashton Jeanty in the 5th round 2 years ago, and then he turns into Ashton Jeanty. I think that's my biggest lesson learned. Draft an Ashton Jeanty whenever you can.
You got him in the 5th round?
Yeah, of the 2023 draft.
So you are really not prepared for success this year because your first pick starts in the 6th round?
Yeah, so if there's an Ashton Jeanty in the 6th round, I will find him. I will find him. I promise you that. But no, yeah, I mortgaged all of my future to be able to say that I'm a back-to-back champion last year. I hope there's another manager out there that drops a Caleb Johnson to the waiver wire that I will snag immediately. Yeah, I'm really just looking for gold. I don't have any draft capital, so I will be preying on any mistakes that anybody makes on the waiver wire. That's my plan.
So on the topic of your draft picks, that's actually why we brought you onto the show. We needed an unbiased draft expert who absolutely has no impact on the first several rounds of the draft so they can give us their unfettered opinion. Who do you like in this draft?
So I think the first name that comes to mind, and it may be a Baylor bias, but I can't really look past Bryson Washington. The fact that he's coming off such an awesome freshman year, and we get the news that Pendergrass is banged up. I just think he's going to go off in this offense. So if I had a first round pick, I would not think twice about drafting him. That would be my top first round target. And then I also really like Jordan Tyson. He was awesome, I think, for Ricky maybe last year. I think him and Sam Levitt, they'll be back to where they were last year. I really like Arizona State this year. So I think those are probably my 2 guys that I target very high in the draft.
If I'm looking at it, yeah, Sam Levitt's a good one. I kind of feel like it's a low year for quarterbacks. Cade, Klubnik, Sellers off the board, Haynes King, Arch Manning off the board.
Yep.
a lot of the name guys are already taken. I mean, you like Sam Levitt?
I think he's a great value. I think the offense that they have, it was able to produce. I mean, obviously losing Scatabo last year too. I was able to pick up Kyson Brown at the end of last year, who somewhat filled in reasonably well. I didn't really trust him on my route to the championship, but he ended up being fine on my bench. So I think he could somewhat fill the role, but I definitely expect more volume to go to Tyson than even last year when he was a target hog.
All right. Any young guys on your radar? Any freshmen, sophomores that you think can be produced for multiple years?
Yeah, I think like just within my own roster, like obviously losing Ashton Jeanty is big, but then last year my thought was, okay, I'm going to draft who I think is going to be the backup for Jeanty, who will take over in the 2025 season. So I drafted Jambres Dubar. He did not turn into that option, and really the guy that I think is going to be taking over that backfield is Sire Gaines, who was a freshman last year. I think he'd be
Great name.
A target. I think he's just pretty sure he's available in our league.
He is. I mean, I don't know.
Struggle with a couple of injuries towards the middle and back half of the year, but all signs from camp sound like he's going to be the guy. I know they brought in the running back from Fresno State, I'm trying to remember his name, to compete for touches, but I think he'll win that backfield. So I think he's a good value somewhere in those second to third round, wherever he's available.
Now, I'm not expecting you to give away all your secrets, but you mentioned the system targets, and you said Ohio State receivers earlier. Do you have any other system position groups that you think are worth looking at?
I'd also probably call out wide receivers at LSU. They have a great history. I know maybe a couple of down years with the likes of like Butte, but I think like Aaron Anderson, I think he's available in our league too. Like I think he's a great target. I expect Nussmeier to be throwing the ball all over the yard. I think that's going to be a high volume offense. I think Caden Durham's also available at the running back position there. Typically I actually don't like to target very big name Power 5 schools, just because of the amount of different mouths to feed within their offenses and the quality of opponents that they'll face. But some teams are worth it. So like an LSU or Ohio State at wide receiver, I think those are always good teams to target.
Who do you think is the next new name on that trophy?
Maybe Preston, whenever he turns old enough to join the league. No, I don't know. I think Jay, he's really set up for success this year. Like I always poke fun at Jay, but he's got, I think Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams, like just absolutely stacked team based off of some awesome drafting last year of really young quality prospects. I think he's got a great basis for being able to draft well, pick up well in free agency, hit trade targets hard during the year. I'd be surprised if Jay didn't win this year, to be honest.
Yeah, this is an aside,
No pressure.
but Jay, first off, got second in the NCAA Tournament Challenge. So I believe he has an extra second-round pick. He has 111, 2-1, 219. So he's got a lot of his control of his draft assets and returning roster strength. It is maybe the best it's ever been in this league. Yeah. He sent me a text saying he had gotten a graphic designer to design the logo for his team. And then he sent me the cover of NCAA 26. And, that says a lot that literally the two biggest brands in college football, Jay drafted last year, has them for this year, but also next year, barring trade. Or Caleb Simmons style drop. It's a scary team. I think Jay, if he can get over the hump, it'll be this year. It's a great insight. Lastly, I just wanted to go over your bracket from last year. You beat Jay in that first round, the same Jay we're talking about right now. Then you played Jason in the semifinal. Was that a bigger deal to you than the championship?
I think last year it really was a three-way fight between myself, Jay, and Jason. So being able to go through that gauntlet and then be met with a cupcake championship match against Ricky, like I think that was icing on top of the cake. But no, yeah, Jason.
I think the viewership might have been higher for the Jason matchup than it was for the national championship.
For sure. Ricky was definitely the TCU in the national championship that one year. So still had to beat him, but Jason is historically one of the best league winners that we've had. He hasn't really adjusted well to the change in structure pretty much since we expanded league rosters, expanded the number of members in our league. Jason's really struggled to get over the hump, so I was definitely glad to axe him in the semifinals last year too.
Do you have any comments on the allegations that the Jason's been stealing signs and the rumors of a manifesto that he's got on his own Google Drive?
I've not corroborated any of the evidence against him, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised that that's the kind of competitor he is.
If he's doing that, it truly is not showing up on the field. You mentioned a great narrative that I think is very interesting. So I'm going to read off the title winners by year, and I'm going to denote when we went to a dynasty format. 2015, Jason. 2016, Jason. 2017, Tyler. Congratulations. 2018, Jason. 2019, Hunter. We go to dynasty format, and Jason's 0 for 4. After winning 3 out of 5 titles in a pre-dynasty league, he cannot get it done in a dynasty format. I think, it's honestly probably too high level of thinking to plan out multiple years for Jason. I think it's just where he hit his wall. He wasn't able to just waiver wire us to death. He had to actually think about his roster. What are your takes on that, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, for someone that is a statistic professor, I think he would agree that there's definitely a correlation there. I think now that you really spell it out for the audience, I mean, Jason is a smart guy, but not everybody's cut out for this kind of a league. It really takes strategic planning and thinking. You can't just draft the latest Mac sensation.
Well, Tyler, this is so great to have you on the show. We are all looking forward to the year off of Tyler.
We'll see how this year goes. I'm really not expecting big things, just hoping I get some of my $35 entry fee back from some of the random winnings that we have throughout the year. It won't be coming from making the playoffs, I don't think. We'll see.
All right. Thanks for your time. So right here, guys, we're going to play some voice memos we are going to be receiving from loved ones. We haven't listened to them yet, but Reed, you just go ahead and insert them right here.
Good luck this year, Brandon. I hope you do a great job. EA is so scared of how good you'll be that they had to ban you before the season even began. Good luck.
Hey Patrick, it's your wife Emma. I asked ChatGPT 5 to help me write some words of encouragement. So here they are. Babe, I love your passion. May your roster stay healthy, your rivals stay quiet, and your team stay undefeated. Win or lose, I'm your biggest fan. Let the league know you're playing with house support. So trust your board, ignore the noise, and run the table. I'll see you at the podium. Whenever you're done with whatever this is, please come unload the dishwasher. Thanks.
Ricky, go kick some ass in your fantasy football leagues.
No, Daddy.
Say, go Dada.
Go, Dada.
Okay, I practice. Okay, I'll use the paper. I'll read from the script. Hi, Reed. I know you've been practicing really hard for your fantasy football league, and you've been doing so great with all your studying and all your late nights. I think you're just going to do so great this year. I think you're just going to take the whole thing, and you're just going to win. Okay, did I do good? Oh, shoot, I'm still recording.
Oh man, that always gets me. It's just so nice to hear the lovely supporting words from our loved ones. Just really brings a tear to my eye. It's time for our Who's That Guy segment. Today, we're joined by Peter. Peter, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
All right, Peter, let's get into it. Who are you? Who do you root for? And how did you get involved with the league?
Oh man, so my name is Peter Gallinera. I joined the league a year or so ago. So I've known Jay Kennedy, for those of you who know Jay, since like 5 years old, basically as long as I can remember. So Jay invited me. Oh, about knowing Jay.
Yeah,
yeah, that's fair. It's. I have some stories of him as a younger kid, but that's beside the point for now. I've known him for a long time, and so we always had a little rivalry growing up with Alabama. He was from Alabama. I root for Notre Dame, so that's always kind of been a fun thing. So that's my school as well.
Now, was that rivalry actually fun for you in the early 2010s?
Early 2010s, no. Before that, in like the Brody Croyle days, was fantastic though. And when Alabama wasn't that good, and it extended like Alabama basketball as well, especially when they had some good like top 5 teams and Notre Dame was unranked and Notre Dame still found a way to beat them. So I won some sweatshirt bets back then as well. But yeah, not a lot of competition. Alabama's ruined my weekends a time or two.
Okay, wait, elaborate. What is a sweatshirt bet?
Mainly just you have to wear the other team's sweatshirt. So if Alabama won, I would have to wear the Alabama sweatshirt. If Notre Dame won, yeah, you got the reverse there.
Okay, if you
either
have
way,
the picture,
people just think you guys are bandwagon. It's not.
If you have a picture of Jay Kennedy in a Notre Dame sweatshirt, feel free to send that to the league Discord. So Peter, the league's expanding to 20 this year from 18. As an expansion team last year, what's your advice to these new teams?
Maybe wait a week or two before dropping someone, because you might be dropping Desmond Reed. I picked up Desmond Reed. I dropped Caleb Johnson. So that's just give it some time. I don't think anyone really knows, and you're just going to have to grind the waivers pretty hard, because you're going to have to deal with some people that have a plethora of first-round picks you're going to have to deal with. But waivers really matter a lot. So you're fine. Do
you feel like it's a sliding doors moment for you that you could have had Caleb Johnson and Desmond Reed in your first year on the team?
Yes, I think about it a lot, to be quite honest, especially with the team I just managed to grind my way through with waivers that are now first through like third round picks. I don't think I was winning no matter what happened last year. I'm just glad I didn't do some of the dumb trades that are proposed to me of giving away like Ryan Wingo for RJ Harvey for a chance for me maybe to make the playoffs. Wouldn't recommend that.
Oh yeah, you are returning Ryan Wingo. How does that feel to have Texas's most promising young receiver whenever, I would say, one of your bigger rivals in the league, Dylan, is a huge Texas fan?
Yeah, I got to be honest. That's probably the only reason I have Ryan Wingo, is that I just got to a point of I don't really know any of the names past round 1. And then I got to round like 4 and I was like, who are some promising players on Texas and Alabama? And I just decided to spite people at that point. So that was my strategy at a certain place in time. But yeah, it feels good.
I mean, spite makes you a perfect fit for this league. We're going to get to a lightning round. Reed's going to ask you some questions. I'll pop in for a question here or there, and it's the time segment. So at some point, we're going to run out of time.
Okay.
So start off, waiver wire or draft?
Waiver.
Bigger villain, Tyler or Jason?
I don't know enough, but Jason.
Prospects or vets?
Vets.
NFL or college?
College.
All right, and Israel or Palestine? Peter, thanks so much for your time today. This is your opportunity to speak your piece in unedited, unfiltered 15 seconds to get your thoughts out about league rules or anything like that, or your shots in.
I don't think I have much to add other than I think Sark is either the dumbest human alive or a great coach. And just because either he should have benched Quinn last year to have Arch and win a national title last year, or Arch isn't good at all, and I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. That's all I really have to say this year. I have no recommendations for rules.
I have word that Sark is listening, so that's great.
Texas makes the playoff, yes or no?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Wrong answer. Thanks for your time, Peter, and we look forward to talking to you throughout the season.
At Jay's Silver Shop, we believe that silver isn't just a metal, it's a mindset. For years, Jay has been perfecting the art of silver. And now he's bringing that same commitment of not quite excellence to you. From elegant silverware that sets your table apart, but not too far apart, to timeless silver jewelry that says, I'm here, but not here to win. Every piece is hand-selected with the expertise of someone who knows what it's like to almost make it. Whether you're shopping for a second wife, a second anniversary, or a second child, Jay's Silver Shop delivers the perfect way to say, I value you second most.
All right, it's time for Remember Him. Jalen Samuels. Reed, do you remember him?
I vaguely remember him. How do you do?
So fantastic goal line back for NC State from 2015 to 2017, first 3 years of the league. He had 9 rushing touchdowns in 6 and 12. He was a real touchdown snake. But the worst part was, Reed, do you want to know what the worst part was?
What was the worst part?
He was eligible as a tight end, historically the lowest scoring position in our league, and he was getting goal line carries. It was horrific. You want to guess who had him?
Is it somebody that won a lot in the early years?
Unfortunately, yes, Reed. It was Jason Maddox, the devil himself. I mean, the league member himself.
It almost feels like cheating.
It essentially
Some would
was.
call it.
Junior year, Jalen Samuels had 13 touchdowns, 565 receiving yards, 55 receptions, and 6 of those touchdowns were on the ground.
Patrick, are you sure that you're looking at the right document? Because back then we were manually putting in stats. I believe it was honor system, which is crazy because, relying on the honor of Jason Maddox. Are you sure that you're not reading that?
So I am sure, Reed, but I did cross-reference with the Google Sheet, and per the Google Sheet, he had 28 touchdowns, 200 receptions, and 19 passing touchdowns. I feel like we should have known he was cheating at the time.
Typical.
Well, I feel like I remember him. Do you?
I do now. That's been Remember Him. If you have any players in your history that you'd like highlighted in this segment, please submit them to me or Patrick. We'd happy to remember them. And that is all the time that we have for this episode of Is This Thing On? We'll be back next week for a full draft recap.
If you want to be a guest on the show or have any questions for us, feel free to reach out. By the way, the AI used in this episode took 4 gallons of water, so if you could knock 10 seconds off your next shower, Caleb, the podcast will be square.
Hey, Patrick. I was just wondering, you're doing so well going to school in grad school, MBA program, got your own business going good. And I was particularly encouraged when you and Emma had your second child. You're really building a great family. And then, and I can't believe I'm saying this, I find out that you're still playing that fantasy football thing with your friends, the college thing. Like when do you actually become like a grown man? By the way, isn't fantasy football that situation where you actually are like pulling against your favorite teams and your favorite players because you didn't draft them on your team? I mean, how ridiculous can you